Hello, my little domestic listeners. I am coming at y'all with the part one of the love of Milim and Rimuru. This story is by um Ben Grimm 1234. So without further ado, let's get into the first chapter, shall we? The author, hey everyone. This is my very first story in Wattpad. This story is mostly about Rimuru and Milim's relations with each other. I have searched and couldn't find any Rimuru x Milim story. I decided to make my own because I believe that those two will be a cute couple together. This story will be a little different from the light novel, which is what I'm using. For example, Rimuru become a true dragon in the beginning of the story. This is because I want him to be equal terms with Milim. There will be different opponents. It will pose a threat to them as the story progresses. The story is mostly action and romance, which will be explored. There will be no harem or lemon in the story. I'm sorry for those who like that stuff, but I just want to focus on the relationship with each other, though there will be some cute moments between them. Anyway, that's all the info I'm willing to give about this story. Have fun reading, and tell me what you think of it after you're done. Prologue. My name is Milim. I am one of the world's strongest beings. I am one of the strongest beings in the world. I'm a dragonoid who became a demon lord a very long time ago. Right now, I'm in a dilemma. I, the greatest demon lord, have fallen in love with my bestie, Rimuru Tempest. I'm at the moment fighting Carrion the Beastmaster due to some reasons. Anyway, it is inevitable that I should fall for Rimuru. After all, he's the only one who shows concern for me. We met when I came to visit his town. That was when I saw his beautiful face. Although at the time I didn't care about his looks, I was more interested in the honey he gave me. After being with him in his city, I saw how kind he was to his people and how beautiful his city was. He showed me around. He showed me many new things I didn't know existed, and he made me try many food that I never tasted before. Truly, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. All this new things. All this is amazing, but that's not why I fell for him. I fell in love with him because of how he treats me. I know I can be childless, and a bit pushy, but Rimuru is always patient with me. He never gets angry with me, and always teaches me anything I do not understand. When I do something wrong, instead of screaming at me, like a guy or Aunt Velzard do, he softly reprimands me and tells me why I shouldn't do that thing. He filled my life, my 1,000 years of loneliness, with fun and joy. It just a few months of knowing him. I just couldn't help myself but to love him. And now that jerk Clayman wants to hurt my beloved Rimuru and his people, I will never allow it. I want to kill him for attempting to hurt my beloved. But I have to find out who he was referring to as his boss, which is why I am pretending to be controlled by him to get him to let his guard down and reveal who his boss is. That's why I'm fighting Carrion now, because he ordered me to destroy Carrion's city, and I have to keep up being actively controlled. Milim, it's a shame you are being controlled, but I won't hold back anymore, Carrion shouts at me. What is he talking about? As if anyone could control me. Though I suppose to him it must look that way. He doesn't even realize that I'm holding back, so that I wouldn't have killed him with one punch. Carrion screams, then screams with a loud voice and transforms into his beast form. He now had animal features all over his body, and his hair grew big but into what resembles that of a lion. His hair was pure gold in color, and he had a spear in his right hand that was fitting for the transformation for the Beast King. Behold, Rimuru, this is my beast transformation, my unique skill, Royal Beast. None who have seen it has lived to tell about it. Like I promised you, I won't hold back anymore, Carrion declared with an arrogant voice. Now take this. Carrion began to gather a huge amount of power in his spear. Beast roar! He threw the spear at Milim, who was just watching him without moving. The spear took on the shape of a giant lion, and rushed to Milim. It impacted with Milim and pushed her into the sky where before it exploded. The explosion was so big that no one who is hit by it will survive, although Milim is an exception to this. After the explosion, Milim flew out and cut Carrion with her sword. She was now wearing a new set of black armor and was holding a sword in her right hand. Carrion, who saw Milim without a scratch on her, was holding the world's strongest sword, was speechless. The world-class sword, Timma, Carrion muttered to himself. Ha 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 ha! I didn't think my hand would feel a little numb from that. I'll reward you by showing me my trump card, Milim said with a crazy look in her eyes. Yes, I know, putting on my armor is a little overkill, but I got mad seeing Carrion act cocky because of his transformation. Even though I'm acting at the moment, I still want to put him in his place. I gathered a amount of mana within myself and fired at Carrion. Take this, Drago Nova. The power I've fired at Carrion could only be described as overpowered. Good thing Carrion is wise enough to jump out of the way. Because if my power were to hit him, he would have died. My Drago Nova made contact with Carrion City, Irizania, and destroyed it in one go. Seeing the destruction myself, I couldn't help but sweat a drop a little. I think I went a little overboard, but in my defense, he insulted me. I should try and control my powers, or I might kill him by mistake. Yes, I'm so mature. Carrion, who saw the level of the destruction, couldn't help the look of fear on his face. Before he could do anything, Demon Lord Frey had appeared behind him and grabbed him with the knife pointing dangerously close to his neck. What are you doing, Frey? Carrion asked her. Nothing personal, Carrion. Just bear with us. She cut his neck, or so it seems. After that, Milim looked up to the sky deep in thought. I hope Rimuru is okay. After all this is over, I will tell him how I feel. I'm sorry, Carrion, but if it is for the one I love, I will do anything to keep him safe. I hope you understand. Frey flew down to Milim and saw the sad look in her eyes. She couldn't help but feel sorry for her, because she knows the true reason why Milim is doing all this. Let's go, Milim. Yes, let's. Milim and Frey flew back to Clement's mission while carrying Carrion's body. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. See y'all next time, my little domestic listeners.